time for round 5 of the championship here in Fuji. And we are underway. Good start from Solario. We'll move up to try and take the race lead on for John Jones into turn 1. Behind him is Adio Motorsport, the Crap and Jets and Motorsport through turn 1 and then into the opening sector, and you can see John Jones comes back to the inside down Solario, and he's going to hold the race lead. As you can see, Motorsport pitching a slightly wider course. John Jones leading Solario with Adio in third, then comes before so Mossberger, Kraft and Chits, Kamayo is flying, I would say, and the other by of George down in 10th. So, Jones leads, Solario now being hunted by Adio as we move into the chicane. So we head through that. Back in 4th place, Motorsport, and these 4 have already broken clear of Motorsport, who runs in 5th. And then 6th place is Gamaiwas. There's Oliver White fighting with Simona Moritze for 7th position, of which Moritze will come round the outside and take that position. Right, so back out in front is Jones leading, Casario 2nd, Adio 3rd, and Moritze 4th. And at the back of the field, we're going to have Marianne coming into the pits, and I think just her off that first lap. So Haley Marianne, who's picked up 7 points this season, will probably not be taking any here. The Solario looks to the inside on John Jones, trying to get that position sorted. Now here comes Adio into the fight. I don't think George Adio is going to be able to do much here. Let's see through this next turn. Not going to go for the move. But all over the back of Solario now, who's all over the back of John Jones, to be fair. And that's a dive bomb and a half onto Adam Hood to try and take P3 off George Adio. And then we'll have to come around the outside. Is it going to work for Motorsport? No, it's not. And then he goes a little bit wide. That could open up an avenue for Sebastian Massenberger, but he wasn't quite close enough. So off the final corner they go. Jones leading, Solario 2nd, then it is Adio, then it's Motorsport and Massenberger. 6th place, Gamaiwa, Simona Moritze 7th, Krafachitz 8th, Oliver White 9th, Caleb Powell in the top 10 right now, although he is fine with no sort of back at all. Well, let's see into turn 1. Massenberger all over the back of Motorsport, but he couldn't find a way past. As George Wyer's coming to the pit, as has Cedar Camille, Emerson Southhouse, and Jez Wonderdev at his home race. So, bad luck for them. So, let's see, we can see Oliver 5 fighting Kraft and Shits at this stage, although not really. Let's get a foul. You can see Bagatop's got damage, actually, and he's dropped down, so I'm wondering if Bagatop and Caleb Powell make contact, but either way, he's going to have to pit. You would imagine. But out in front, it's John Jones leading, trying to take his first win of the season. He's been on the podium twice at Dubai and Kosa, but he didn't win either of those races. Solario 2nd. And then Adio 3rd, and then Motorsport 4th, Massenberger 5th, Gamaiwa 6th, and then these 6th, but and that's where it's saying crap and shit, so there we go. Running in 10th place now is Safford Jones, who's won 2 races this season, but he's down in 10th right now, a good 15.5 seconds behind the race leader, which is her brother, John Jones. Back up to the fight for 3rd, because there you can see Motorsport going down the inside of George Adio, who will then come back to the outside. Sebastian Musselberger's in this fight too, and you can see off the corner before it says absolutely no traction, and he's going to lose out to Musselberger, and might even lose out here to Felix Gamaiwes, who will fancy a look down the inside, and Felix Gamaiwes gets the place. So Mufwitzer goes from potentially P3 all the way down to 6th. And now might be under pressure from the other Scuderia Coloni of Simona Muruzzi. Right. It's actually, what happens with John Jones, I just realised he's second now, rather than leading. So we're going to replay what happens with John Jones. Obviously, he went off that turn 1, okay, because I just realised that, my brain, not really there, but, slowly, John Jones now second after his mistake, with Adio third and Musselberger 4th, and then about a second and a half to 2 seconds back to Gamaiwes in 5th, then Mufwitzer, and then Muruzzi. And then Gravenchik's one's 8th, and then Powell 9th, and Montcalm now into the top 10 ahead of Safran Jones. So, off the final corner we go. Let's see what happens on the run down towards turn 1. To get the feeling we might be seeing Mufwitzer have a little look at Gamaiwes potentially going into turn 1. Gets the run, pulls to the right hand side. Is he going to get the place into turn 1? Gamaiwes will then come back to the outside. Gets the traction off the corner this time. So they're going to get forced up to the outside, and that's going to allow Gamaiwes to cover it off with Muruzzi now right into this fight. As that further down the field, both Mark Watson and Sultan Vagasov have both come into the pits for damage repairs, as something has happened to some Pierre Montcalm, and that is what has happened to Pierre Montcalm. So here's what happened. He just locks up into turn 1 and off into the barriers he goes. So when's he going to rejoin? Because he's got damage anyway, so it doesn't even matter actually. But out in front, Sligo leads. Jones second, now slightly under pressure from Adio. Then it's Musselberger, there's Gamaiwes. And there is Simona Muruzzi having a look to the inside onto Anna Mufwitzer as Musselberger went wide. So now Muruzzi might be able to get past her teammate here, and off the corner, Simona Muruzzi gets 2 places in 1 corner. As a little bit of contact there as Mufwitzer tagged the back of Musselberger. Musselberger's going to come back to the outside, although now Mufwitzer has a little look to the outside, now down the inside. There's David Gravenchik moving up to 7th in all this. But the top 3 have broken clear. They are Solario, Jones and Adio, with 4 places to Gamaiwes. Then comes the 2 claims of Musselberger. Gravenchik's under pressure from Mufwitzer here. So they move into turn 1. Let's see if Mufwitzer can get the place into turn 1. Pulls it to the right hand side late. Gravenchik will try and come back to the outside, which then forces Mufwitzer to the outside. As Mufwitzer goes a little bit wide and won't be able to get that place there. Meanwhile, Adio's keeping John Jones under pressure here for 2nd place. Fastest that race, help on the race leader, Roberto Solario, who's not had a great season 4 to be fair. Currently 13th in the standings. He's only picked up 14 points and hasn't finished inside on the podium yet, but he leads this race. There's Gamaiwes under pressure from Muruzzi. There's Musselberger in 6th. There you can see Gravenchik and Mufwitzer. Then it's Caleb Powell in 9th. Then Safran Jones, and then a bit of a gap back to anyone else, led by Oliver Ray. Right, George Adio, meanwhile, has got an excellent one off the final corner, and is going to try and get John Jones. Let's see. Into turn 1 we go. Can Adio get the place? John Jones will come back to the outside, as we've seen many drivers able to do off turn 1. And then we'll get the inside line that I don't think Adio's got the traction on the outside to get that place, so John Jones will hold second. Fourth place Goliath, then before say Rosberg. Then comes before it's Crab and Shits. There's Caleb Powell, who's now coming under pressure from Satwan Jones. Adio keeps the pressure on John Jones for second place. Interesting fact, though, these guys have finished on the podium twice together this season. This season when they finished together at Detroit, when John Jones was second and Adio was third, and then they finished on the podium together at Kota when John Jones was third and Adio was second. So as it stands, that'll be the third time this season we've seen a podium with both John Jones and George Adio on it, and it will be all 3 times that they have not won that race. So there we go. Winner of those races were Bo Arvinson and Adam Maritza. So there you are. Right, off the final corner, here comes George Adio. Can he get the traction? Not really. Mark Cole's pit stops put him towards the back of the pack, 23rd, only ahead of Staubhaus, so his race is all but done. Gamaires has dropped down to 10th. So I don't know what happened to Felix Gamaires, because he was a lot higher up the field, and that is what happened to Felix Gamaires. So he was off the corner and just goes over the curb, and round goes the car. He was actually lucky not to get damage, but it has dropped him down to 10th. George Adio is going to try and go to the outside this time on John Jones. That's an interesting manoeuvre. To the outside, trying to get the inside line. But didn't ever really look convincing, that manoeuvre. Can he maybe send it down the inside here? No, behind them in 4th and 5th is the 2 Colognes of Moritz and Massenberger. But Butcher is 6th, Raffenschitz is 7th, then Caleb Howell, who's having a little bit of a three-way fight for 8th place with Saffron Jones and Felix Gamaires. So, good for Caleb Howell right now, because he's one of 4 drivers this season, haven't picked up a point. They are Alex Rodriguez, who right now is 15th, Wang Sang-hun, who currently is 14th, David Krafenschitz actually is another one, he's up in 7th right now, and also Caleb Powell, who's running an 8th. So, 2 of the 4 drivers yet to score a point this season would pick up a point. Let's see, 6:15 to go. George Adio hasn't really been able to keep up with John Jones on this particular lap. There's that Caleb Powell three-way fight we mentioned, which was going on in the background of all this, with Saffron Jones and Felix Gamaires also made his mistake involved in this. The bad news for them is they are about 4.5 seconds behind Krafenschitz in front, so even if they do get this sorted out, I don't think we'll be seeing any of these going any higher up than 8th place, although Saffron Jones gets a slightly dodgy run, so maybe a look for Gamaires here for 9th place. This will help Caleb Powell nicely, because, well, they're going to be wasting time fighting each other rather than trying to attack him. Although, as I say that, he's had an extremely poor run, so now Saffron Jones is going to go down the inside here, and I think she's got Caleb Powell, has she? Maybe not. Gamaires is in the back of all of this, but off the corner they go, and Saffron Jones moves up to 8th place, past Caleb Powell. Now we'll see if Gamaires can follow through. Just over 5 minutes to go. Through the chicane, the Gamaires goes a little wide. That's just going to compromise this whole run. See if he can recover in this final sector. But you can already see the gap that Saffron Jones is already beginning to be putting on these two. But not the final corner. Let's see what Felix Gamaires can do. Just over 4 minutes to go. Can he move up into 9th place past Caleb Powell, who is struggling for a little bit of top speed here when Gamaires pulls to the right hand side into turn 1, but looks like he lost a bit of speed himself when he broke out the slipstream, and he's not going to be able to get the position there. 3:38 to go. Solario leading by 5.5 seconds over John Jones and George Adio third, about a second back. Then comes the two colonials of Mavitze and Barcelona. Mavitze is sixth, Kravitz is seventh. Then it's Saffron Jones. Then it's this fight of Powell and Gavaimas. And about 4.5 seconds down the way from each, you'll find Oliver Ryan 11th. But then another about 4.5 seconds down the way from him, you'll find Israel Lemons. And then the likes of Sankman, Valaderas, Rodriguez, and Robinson. And anyone further back is pitted. So there we go. 3:10 to go. Let's see if Galmaiwas can get the place. See, hunts down Caleb Powell for 9th place, who's not scored a point this season. I'll be eager to get as many as he can now that the opportunity there is on. Right, 2:40 to go as as these guys are about to carve across the line. Good looking run this from Galmaiwas. And he will go to the right hand side again. And this time there's no mistake. He has just absolutely floored it past Caleb Powell. He must have had absolutely no traction off the corner, and he is not going to be able to fight that one. As Felix Gamares breezes past the American and up into 9th place. Further back, there's Bo Robinson in 16th place, trying to get ahead of Marcos Valaderas for 15th place. And just ahead of him is Alex Rodriguez, and you can see Bo Robinson getting it done and moving up to 15th position for the man who currently is third in the championship. Although I don't think he'll be staying that at all after this weekend. Deros, I thought I said that I won there on Robinson. Not really any close fights in the points now. So I just don't know if Powell's got the pace to try and re-attack Gamaires. We've got yellow flags out on track, and that's Oliver Vai. He's had a moment down at the chicane. He was running in 11th position, so he didn't actually lose anything. But he's now 10 seconds behind Caleb Powell, who will be hearing that news and will be thinking, well, I'm going to get points today, so there we are. Solario's going through turn 1 more, a minute and 10 to go, so that might be the final lap of the race. We'll wait and see. As Ismael Lemons gets a terrible run off the final corner, and that's going to allow Stanklin and Rodriguez to breeze past, and now Alex Rodriguez is going to try and use that momentum to get past Wang Stanklin into turn 1. And that's yellow flags because that is somebody. That's Mavitze, who has damage as a result of George Adio going off. So George Adio went off. But I think he's avoided damage. But he's under edge of Musselberg. But that has ruined the race to Simona Ritze. He was having such a good race in that top 5 with Musselberger. As the Colognes were on for another strong result. Much like it was at Bahrain last time out. And then bang, they get hit. Right, off the final corner. Here comes Roberto Solario behind the damaged car of Jesmont Yadeva as time is up, and Roberto Solario will get his first win of the season. So Roberto Solario gets his season back underway. John Jones it is, who will cross the line in 2nd position to pick up his 3rd podium of the year, still looking for his first win. George Adio in the end will end up 3rd ahead of Musselberger in 4th, Mavitze 5th. Kravitz, his first points of the year, ends up 6th. With Saquon Jones 7th in the end. Gamaires will end up with no front wing, but he'll cross the line in 8th. Mavitze coming into the pits has put it in the wall. Somehow. I don't even know how you do that. So that's going to allow Caleb Powell to move up and take 9th place. With, in the end, Oliver Wright 10th, Rodriguez 11th, Tanghun 12th, Arvids 13th, Levens 14th, Galaderas 15th. It's going to be Mavitze 16th, Mariam 17th, and then 18th place will go to George Vai in all this, who, to be fair, never really did much anyway. 19th place, Celia Camille, when she comes up across the line, what's been a pretty disappointing year, minus that decent race for her at Detroit, and then Nurselt and Bagatov will end up 20th. Now goes on a 4-race pointless streak. Mark Watson will cross the line in 21st. Nothing too much to say about that. Emerson Stelhaus will cross the line 22nd. Pierre Montcalm will end up 23rd. The season 1 champion fails to score points for the 3rd time in 5 races. And then Judgment Yadeva, who's got damage to that rear wing, is going to come into the pits, fix that up, and cross the line dead last. And we will see you at the Nürburgring as Yadeva goes dramatically into the pits. But he is going to cross the line at 24th, dead last, at his home race. We'll see you in Nürburgring.